This one did not come from Candace Owens. It did not come from a political opponent. It did not come from a left-wing journalist, or an ACLU fundraiser, or a viral parody video. It did not come from anyone with an agenda against Erika Kirk or Turning Point USA. It came from inside the House. Caroline Mattox, the president of Turning Point USA's University of Georgia chapter, resigned on April 22, writing that it had become abundantly clear to her, following the April 14 event, that TPUSA's mission and purpose have been lost along the way. NBC News. A young woman who described joining TPUSA as a lifelong dream, who devoted her college years to building the UGA chapter, who appeared in a video at the very event she is now resigning over honoring Charlie Kirk's faith and legacy on camera, and then went home and wrote one of the most damaging internal critiques the organization has faced. Since his death, she said TPUSA is spreading blatant dishonesty. She said Charlie would not stand for it. She said she can no longer in good conscience represent what this organization has become. Welcome to the Marquee Report. This is the story that changes the internal narrative of everything happening at TPUSA right now. Let's get into every detail. Mattox appeared in a video honoring the late founder, speaking of the faith she said had guided him in his work. Charlie Kirk faithfully led the way, she said at the event, before going home and writing her resignation statement. That sequence, honoring him publicly on camera, then resigning privately because of what she witnessed, is the most human and most damaging part of this story. She did not storm out. She fulfilled her obligations at the event. And then she made her decision with what appears to be genuine deliberation. Let's go through exactly what Mattox wrote, because every line of this letter is doing significant work. She wrote, "Being a part of TPUSA has been a dream of mine for a very long time, and I was prepared to devote my college years to building the UGA chapter and carrying on Charlie Kirk's legacy. Turning Point USA was founded to promote truth, fight for conservative values, encourage independent thought, and defend free speech. However, it became abundantly clear to me following our event on April 14th that TPUSA's mission and purpose have been lost along the way." She then got more specific. She said it became evident to her that the organization's current direction no longer aligns with the principles upon which it was founded. She said she had witnessed firsthand what she believed to be the organization's true direction following Charlie's passing, and that she had significant concerns about its messaging and current trajectory. And then came the line that is going to follow Erika Kirk and TPUSA for a long time. She wrote, "Charlie spent his life fighting for truth, and I do not believe he would stand for the blatant dishonesty now being spread by the organization that he built." Blatant dishonesty. Those are not diplomatic words. That is not a careful departure statement designed to protect everyone involved. That is a direct accusation from someone who was present, who was watching, who believed in this organization, that the people now running Charlie Kirk's legacy are lying. She closed by invoking Charlie's own words. As Charlie often said, "Stand for what is right even if you stand alone." That message guides me, and I will continue to carry it with me in all that I do. She used the founder's words to justify leaving the founder's organization. That is a devastating rhetorical move, and it was clearly intentional. Here is the question the resignation letter deliberately leaves unanswered, and it is the question everyone is asking. What exactly did Caroline Mattox witness at the April 14th event that pushed her over the edge? Mattox did not say in her resignation letter exactly what happened at the April 14 event in Athens to make her believe TPUSA had turned its back on its original values. She also did not reference Vance directly. She was in that arena. She watched the event unfold. She saw the sparse attendance. She heard Andrew Colvett, TPUSA's own spokesperson, take the stage in Erika's place because Erika did not show up. She heard whatever was said from that stage. She observed whatever happened behind the scenes, and she walked away calling it blatant dishonesty. And here is where this story stops being about one campus and starts being about a pattern. Mattox's decision comes a month after the TPUSA chapter at the University of Arkansas cut ties with the organization. Its former president, Dino Fantagrossi, renamed the group to Young American Revival. Fantagrossi echoed Mattox's grievances and said the Arkansas chapter's members were generally put off by how Charlie Kirk has been used by TPUSA since his assassination. He wrote that statements like Charlie would have said and Charlie would have wanted have felt in many instances disingenuous and manipulative. Vance's visit to Georgia and Erika's no-show also prompted TPUSA to change course for its spring tour, in which conservative personalities debate college students across the country. At the most recent stop on the tour to Baylor University in Waco, Texas, all media were denied access to the event. That last detail is significant. After the Georgia controversy, after the sparse attendance, after the security story contradiction, after the chapter president's resignation, TPUSA's response at the next tour stop was to ban all media. No cameras, no reporters, no independent observation of what happens at their events. That is not the behavior of an organization that is confident in its narrative. Let's be direct about what the Mattox resignation actually means for Erika Kirk's leadership of TPUSA. Erika Kirk became TPUSA's CEO after her husband, Charlie Kirk, was shot and killed in September 2025. She vowed to make the organization the biggest thing this nation has ever seen. That vow is now being measured against the reality of two disbanded chapters: a viral security story contradiction, media being banned from tour stops, and a resignation letter from a UGA student who once called joining TPUSA a lifelong dream. The gap between that vow and that reality is what Erika Kirk's leadership is going to be judged on. Here is where everything stands right now. Caroline Mattox, the president of TPUSA's University of Georgia chapter, resigned on April 22nd, saying the organization has strayed from Charlie Kirk's vision and is spreading blatant dishonesty. She was followed by the TPUSA's Arkansas chapter, which disbanded weeks earlier, citing nearly identical concerns about how Charlie's name is being used. TPUSA has not publicly responded. Baylor's tour stop banned all media. Iowa State is coming on April 30th. The external attacks on Erika Kirk's credibility have been relentless since September. But this week, the attack came from somewhere different. From a college student who loved Charlie Kirk enough to build her college identity around his organization, who honored his memory on camera at the very event she is now using as her reason to leave. She invoked his words on the way out the door. Stand for what is right, even if you stand alone. That is either the most powerful indictment of what TPUSA has become under Erika Kirk, or it is the words of a young woman who witnessed one difficult event and drew conclusions too quickly about a much larger and more complicated situation. The Iowa State event on April 30th, where Erika Kirk is confirmed to appear with J.D. Vance, is now carrying more weight than ever. It is not just a test of whether she shows up, it is a test of whether the organization she leads can still fill a room and tell a consistent story to its own people. We will be watching. This has been the Marquee Report, serious, detailed coverage of the stories shaping the world right now. Subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss what comes next. See you on the next one.